Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC, your ultimate hub for all the latest Liverpool drama, transfers, and breaking updates. Today's episode is packed with huge stories. Alan Shearer's bold claim about Arne Slot's trust issues, Mohamed Salah's ongoing troubles, Florian Wirtz's message turning heads, Virgil van Dijk feeling the pressure, and a big transfer hint from Malick Fofana's camp, plus Liverpool eyeing a talented 20-year-old defender. Stay tuned, Reds! This one's loaded with passion, controversy, and pure Anfield energy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with every twist and turn in the transfer window. Alan Shearer spots Liverpool player Arne Slot does not trust amid Mohamed Salah troubles. Liverpool have lost 3 games in a row in all competitions, and Mohamed Salah has not been at his best. But Alan Shearer has backed the Egyptian to return to form Newcastle United. And Premier League icon Alan Shearer has suggested that Liverpool boss Arne Slot doesn't fully trust Jeremy Frimpong yet, while also backing Mohamed Salah to bounce back to his best. At the end of last season, it was evident that Trent Alexander-Arnold would be leaving Anfield when his contract expired. Real Madrid eventually forked out $10 million to release Alexander-Arnold early from his contract for the Club World Cup, but the Reds had already begun the process of finding a replacement before this deal was finalized. Connor Bradley had been serving as Alexander-Arnold's backup prior to his departure, and Frimpong was brought in from Bayer Leverkusen to ramp up competition for the position. However, Frimpong has only started 1 Premier League match for Liverpool this season, with a hamstring injury also limiting his chances. While the Dutchman was expected to be the first choice for the Reds, it's clear that hasn't been the case, and Bradley has also struggled to secure the position. Meanwhile, Salah hasn't reached the heights of last season yet. And although 3 consecutive losses in all competitions is never ideal, there's a clear determination not to overreact. That said, Shearer has told Betfair that he believes Slot will be able to steer the ship back on course at Anfield. Mo Salah will come back to his best, start scoring goals, and we'll all look back and wonder what the fuss was about, Shearer explained. He epitomizes what's happening at Liverpool at the moment in terms of being affected by the balance, and Liverpool and Slot can't find it yet with the new players. Slot doesn't trust Frimpong yet at right back. He doesn't trust Connor Bradley, hence the reason he played Dominic Szoboszlai there. Joe Gomez was on the bench, and he put Ryan Gravenberch at center-back instead, and I guess the balance is all over the place at the moment. It's not just Mo Salah, it's down the left and right side. Arne Slot is a brilliant coach, so it's a matter of time before they do get firing. Now's the time for other clubs to try and build a lead, because it was only 6 days ago that Arsenal were 5 points behind Liverpool. 2 games later, they're a point ahead. Things can move pretty quickly, and Liverpool will get better, as will Salah. After the international break this weekend, Liverpool will return to the Premier League for a blockbuster clash next week when they welcome Manchester United to Anfield. Despite thrashing Sunderland before the October hiatus, doubts remain over Amorim and United, which Slot's side will be looking to exploit as they bid to return to winning ways. Florian Wirtz message unmistakable as teammate shocked by Liverpool reports Florian. Wirtz has yet to stamp his class at Liverpool so far, but the glowing reports from his homeland hint that it might not be. Too far away at Anfield, it was news to Germany's Serge Gnabry this week when it was put to him that Florian Wirtz was experiencing some teething problems at Liverpool. The Bayern Munich winger was speaking at a press conference to preview Die Mannschafts World Cup qualifier with Luxembourg on Friday night when he was asked about Wirtz's general adaptation to life on Merseyside. We all try to help each other as teammates, especially the ones in a difficult situation, Gnabry said. But I don't have the impression that Flo is not doing well. He's laughing and training well. Nobody doubts his qualities, and he shouldn't either. Give the guy some time. It was a big move, but he has huge qualities, and I'm certain that he will succeed. Gnabry's effusive praise of Wirtz's ability comes hot on the heels of an appraisal from Germany legend Jürgen Klinsmann this week, who himself remarked in an interview with Sports Illustrated, Florian needs his time to find his way around the northwest of England. Liverpool in particular. That's a lot for a young guy. And then he comes into a team that consists only of superstars. He has to fight his way through step by step, and he will. He is a fighter. Further reassurance, if it was needed for Wirtz, came via the German FA's sporting director, Andreas Rettig, who said, "One thing is clear. Florian will establish himself at Liverpool. There's no debate. No one can seriously claim that a player of his quality won't succeed. And even the iconic Rudi Völler has had the situation of the current jewel of German football thrown at him." Völler, who has previously worked as sporting director at Leverkusen, struck a similar tone to other prominent figures in Wirtz's homeland, saying, "Florian shouldn't let himself get carried away. I have no concerns about that. He'll show the English what he's made of. Florian is playing in a new league and a new club. These are normal adjustment problems. Almost every professional has them. I have no doubt that with his running and playing ability, he will make the breakthrough. That, Wirtz is the subject of so much chatter in Germany, is indicative of the fact that the 160mm playmaker has yet to light the blue touch paper on his Anfield career so far. It's been a difficult adjustment for so many of the club's new arrivals this summer, and the Reds entered into the international break on the back of 3 successive defeats. That is the worst sequence of its kind under Arne Slot, and the club hasn't been on such a run since the early months of 2023. For Wirtz, he sits alongside Alexander Isak as the most high profile of the new arrivals, but the former Newcastle United man's issues are more easily explained, given the lack of preseason he was able to undertake as his protracted and acrimonious departure from St. James's. Park went on, Isak, rightly or wrongly, is likely being cut more slack by observers of Premier League football due to the evidence of his capabilities that has been banked over the last 2 to 3 years of his career on Tyneside. The Sweden international has scored more than 40 times in the Premier League in the last 2 terms, many of them still fresh in the collective memory. Perhaps there would be more margin for Wirtz's error had he been the star player. For a team who went an entire season unbeaten to win the first domestic title in their history on these shores rather than in the Bundesliga, as he did for Leverkusen in 2024. But for now, it is fair to say the Premier League has yet to be taken by the scruff of the neck by Liverpool's new number 7. It's helpful then, from the Reds' perspective, that the deluge of comments from Germany about Wirtz have all been insistent that the former Bayer Leverkusen star will inevitably show his class. It is not just the sanctuary of Germany, where Wirtz is finding support at present, though. Former England winger Chris Waddle knows all about the difficulties of having to instantly become the creative fulcrum on foreign soil, having moved to League One side Marseille in 1989. I've watched Wirtz for a few years, and he's a terrific talent, but he's having an awful time right now, Waddle told bestbettingsites.com. He's not doing it for Germany either, and they're struggling a bit in World Cup qualifying. They have built the team around him there, and it's not quite happening, but there's no doubting his talent. He was wonderful for Leverkusen, but his confidence will be low while expectations are sky high. People forget he's only 22, but it's hard to just arrive in the Premier League. In Germany, he had more time on the ball, and now it's 100 miles an hour for him. He needs to get up to speed, and we don't know how easy he has found it to adjust off the pitch to a new life. If people are patient, he'll be fine. I had an awful start at Marseille. For months, people questioned my signing, my price tag, and then it all clicked suddenly. I was Magic Chris, but before then I was getting annihilated. He just needs to settle down and get used to a physical league. That patience that Waddle asks for is a rare commodity in modern football. But the glowing reports from Germany should be enough to convince even the most ardent skeptic that Liverpool will get their new man purring soon enough. Virgil van Dijk left on edge as a Liverpool defender given painful verdict, Liverpool skipper. Virgil van Dijk has once again been subjected to stinging criticism in Holland-Liverpool. Captain Virgil van Dijk has been subject to yet more criticism in Holland after being slammed as painful and weak. Van Dijk skippered the Dutch national team to a comprehensive 4-0 win in Malta in their latest World Cup qualifier on Thursday evening. However, the centre-back has once again been targeted for severe assessment in his homeland, with many outlets rating him the worst Holland player on the pitch. Van Dijk gifted Malta a chance early on with a wayward back pass and later on picked up a booking that leaves him 1 yellow card from a suspension, with Holland having 3 key qualifiers remaining. The media in Holland has regularly been critical of Van Dijk's performances for his country, and they were quick to point the finger. Voetbal Primeur declared Van Dijk looked weak after his mistake in the opening moments, while Algemeen Dagblad said of the error it was painful that the Dutch captain had such a light-hearted moment in a team that is all too often accused of lacking urgency in matches. Of his booking, Van Dijk said, "I didn't consider it a yellow card at all. I hear I'm on edge, and I have to deal with that. This is part of the game. We still have 3 important matches to achieve that. On to the next one. Holland take on Finland at home on Sunday before finishing the group with a key visit to Poland and a home game against Lithuania. Van Dijk will return to Merseyside next week to start preparing for the resumption of Liverpool's season when they entertain Manchester United on Sunday week. Malick Fofana agent makes Liverpool transfer admission. This is the season. Liverpool have been told they would be a perfect fit for 20-year-old Lyon winger Malick Fofana. The agent of Lions, Malick Fofana, admits they are looking to engineer a deal that could involve a transfer to Liverpool. And Frederico Pena, who represents the 20-year-old winger, says Fofana belongs at a club with the stature of the Premier League champions. Pena, who is the general manager of Rock Nation Sports, founded by rap megastar Jay-Z, says the organization are thinking big about the career of Fofana, who had interest from Everton in the summer transfer window. The Belgium international scored 11 times and picked up 7 assists in his 41 games for Lyon last time out and is likely to be part of his country's squad at next summer's World Cup, should Rudy Garcia's side qualify for the competition. And Pena has spoken of his belief that Fofana is good enough to be the subject of attention from Arne Slot's Reds in an interview with De Morgan, as translated by Sport Witness. This is the season in which Fofana wants to show himself to the world, especially at the World Cup, Pena said. If he succeeds, he can move from Lyon to a top 10 club. At Rock Nation, we strongly believe in him. Liverpool, Bayern, Manchester City, those are the clubs where he belongs, Pena added. Fofana feels very appreciated in Lyon. He didn't want to risk that just like that by leaving in the summer. We tracked down Fofana through our own scouting. He is an extraordinary talent who is gradually ready for a transfer. Next year, the World Cup will take place in the United States, the birthplace of Rock Nation. We want to guide players who can shine there. Fofana fits that profile perfectly. We want to get Fofana out of his shell. Listen, he has the potential to be a world star like Kylian Mbappe, Lamine Yamal, or Kevin De Bruyne, but then you also have to become a personality off the field. We want to work on that together. Liverpool spent over $300 million reshaping their forward line in the summer transfer window, bringing in Hugo Ekitike, 79 meter, Florian Wirtz, 116 meter, and Alexander Isak, 125 meters, from Eintracht Frankfurt, Bayer Leverkusen, and Newcastle United, respectively. After losing back-to-back games before the international break, they currently sit 1 point behind leaders Arsenal in the Premier League table. Liverpool eyeing move to sign 20-year-old defender. Liverpool considering move to sign another young defender. Liverpool's ongoing defensive reshuffle looks set to continue into 2025, with club officials intensifying their search for long-term reinforcements. The injury to Giovanni Leone has left Arne Slot's squad short of central defensive depth, and with the recent departure of Jarell Quansah, the situation has grown more pressing. Virgil van Dijk remains the only senior defender with a consistent fitness record. Both Ibrahima Konate and Joe Gomez, though dependable when available, have been troubled by injuries over multiple campaigns. Konate's contract situation, set to expire within the next year, only complicates matters further. With no fresh terms yet agreed, is therefore little surprise that Liverpool's recruitment department, led by Richard Hughes, continue to explore options across Europe and beyond. Among the most notable names under consideration are Mark Guehi and Japan's emerging star, Rion Ichihara. According to Anfield Watch, Guehi remains priority target for Liverpool rebuild. Mark Guehi, long admired by Liverpool scouts, is expected to be one of the key defensive additions in the coming transfer windows. His technical proficiency, Ability to play out from the back and familiarity with Premier League intensity make him a near-ideal fit for Slot's system. Guehi's contract situation only strengthens Liverpool's position. With his deal due to expire next summer, the England international could be available on a free transfer, an opportunity that aligns neatly with the club's focus on sustainable recruitment. Slot's football demands composure, anticipation, and distribution from his defenders. Guehi, with his experience and leadership qualities, represents both short-term reliability and long-term planning. But he may not be the only new arrival at Anfield's backline.